All right. Welcome, everybody. This is another Unshackled live show. And today we're going to talk a little bit about the invasion and everything what comes up to mind. So let me introduce you to the panel tonight. We got Anton Airlines. And we got David the Douche. We got Champ. Makaya. And we got Slim Shady. And we got Venom. We got me Dutch. So, how is the panel doing tonight?
Good.
Awesome.
Tired. So very, very tired.
Not too bad.
Pissed off.
What? Why are you pissed off?
Hang on. That's nothing new with him. He's always pissed off at something.
Yeah, no, I lost all my air on a disconnect earlier today, so now I'm pushed away an hour's fucking repair or a day's worth of repairs. So it is what it is. Thus is the game.
No.
Yeah, these things happen.
Oh,
Happen to
yeah.
everybody.
So we just finished the invasion, and how was the invasion for everybody? Did you guys anticipate it to the invasion, and how did you feel about the invasion, and how was the invasion for you? I'm just going to ask it randomly, so everybody that wants to say something, just talk freely.
I mean, I'll start. I didn't finish Invasion because I'm not quite strong enough yet to. But what I played of it, it was challenging enough but it wasn't too challenging.
So, did you actually get to complete the whole invasion?
No, I wasn't able to. I think got to wave 6, and my base just couldn't do it.
Did you use the base defenders in it, or just nothing, or what?
I tried a couple different things to get through it, but it's just a mixture of my base not being strong enough as far as design-wise, and my levels of units that I was using to defend phalanx and technicals mainly just weren't either in the right arrangement, weren't being used properly, or weren't controlled correctly.
There's so many times that I've been through invasion, and it's like when you get to 60-70% or whatever, you don't complete it, it's pretty much a wash at that point. That's kind of where really invasion breaks down, where it's like if you can't get through it, then it's kind of pointless at that point. It's somewhat fun, sort of to start it, but without getting that, those tokens at the end or actually doing something, it's partly the prizes aren't worth it, but.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I can understand Makaya's point. I can understand the real Slim Shady's point. I mean, the thing that you have to understand the difference between Onslaught and Invasion is that with Invasion, though your base units do not repair. So if you kill your phalanx is dead unless you sit on the repairs or coin it. But the attrition does counter that a bit. So realistically, Slim, you in the next one that you participate in, what you might want to do if you know that you're basically hemmed into level 5, level 6 waves, take your units out of that wave, let it flatten your base. Then heal your base. You get the 45 minutes or an hour or whatever. Let your base heal for 15-20 minutes, get the essential stuff back pretty well, some of your wall blocks, get your armaments back up, let it level your base again. If you can
Venom, put something in the chat there, please.
Well, I'm not over in that, unfortunately. Let me give me the side chat link to the thing, please. Hey, Dr. Phil.
Wait, I remove him.
Thank you. I'll go find the thing and load up. I'll load up the YouTube in a sec. But what I was getting at is that if you let the attrition do its work, and if you can whittle down a third or 2/3 of the units just through letting it kill and kill and kill, maybe the first 3 or 4 losses, defeats,
Thank you, David.
and and you take about, thank you, David, and you take about, 25, 30 of the 45 minutes repair. And then you let that last 15 minutes where you can throw some defensive units in and then let those do the damage. The other thing that you have to keep into consideration, treat all of these, because it's still Kixeye AI, treat them like you do the zombies. Don't use all your units all at once. If you can pick out 3 or 4 phalanx, run them behind, run them straight through the pack. I don't understand, what your level is, so I'm gonna use broad spectrum terms. But if you have decent enough health on them that you can run through without them dying, and then use those to coerce the longhorns and the billy goats and all that crap to turn around away from your CC, away from your base, and let that give you time. Because really, the way that this, for you specifically, this isn't about getting the fastest time. It's about getting through it and collecting as many prizes as you can. Now I'll shut up about that and I'll go into mine, and then I'll shut up so the rest of you can talk. For me, it wasn't so bad. I completed it. I had 4 major issues. The very first wave, starting it, day 1, I clicked defend, and for about a minute and 10 seconds, none of my shit moved. The timer just ticked. I didn't get attacked, but nothing happened. Literally, the screen was just frozen, and the timer was going click, 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 click. So I lost about a minute and 10 on the very first wave, and then I defeated the rest of it in about 30 seconds or so. Then on wave 8, I did not complete it in one go. Again, issues, lag, non-responsive units. I got defeated. I cleared cookies in between sporadic waves and all that shit, and refreshed my entire computer and all that stuff. But still, the system was hampered the entire event for me, which was freaky because wave 8 had issues. Completed on the second term, a second go through, and then 9 and 10, I went first shot, no problems. But again, we all have seen that 8 is kind of, for whatever reason, 8's a little bit more difficult than 9.
Well, for me, wave 1 to 7, it was kind of easy, and I considered 8, 9, and 10. It was pretty hardcore, pretty tough. But what I used in the in most of the waves, I put out my bunkers and phalanxes. I actually did use in the beginning the technicals, and then later on, some of my friends said, "Well, you're fucking crazy. You should swap them immediately for phalanxes," and I did. And actually, he was right. I did much better.
Dutch, put another one there, please.
On a side note, apparently I've been sending too many chat messages.
Cheers, guys.
But
as Venom was saying there, for the lower levels, it's difficult to get through it in one go. But you have 2 days to do it one go, so you can repair and do everything. There's an option to do that. Waste all your tunes, get 6 hours of damage, then repair and do wave 9, and do it that way.
Yeah, it's kind of the big problem for me is the perfects for like 9 and 10 at least for sure are the only good prizes. So it's like if you don't get the perfects there, then it's kind of you're just kind of trying to complete it.
So, Champ.
Oh, I was gonna go. That's all right. Champ can go.
Yeah. Well, you already called my name, darn it.
Yeah, you can always do it, but I thought it was following a silence, so I thought, well, I name out the name.
The invasion itself, I agree with what you said, Dutch. 1 through 7 is pretty easy. Pretty much micro heal your I use the phalanx, so you could pretty much micro heal that tune up to there, and then 8, 9, and 10 a little bit more. It's going to give you a little bit more to test, and with proper strategy and base setup, you can, it's possible to knock those waves out as well. And from my invasion experience this round, I had a 15-second runoff pretty much every wave, which was kind of frustrating, because it was taken off my time. And so that's my that's my kind of gripe with it, and this glitch that was, it's been on the forums. I'm sure everybody's seen it, and I guess you can jump to another sector, jump back, and finish it off. And is it pretty much everyone saw
that's been aggravating since day one. I mean, that's happened since the very first version of this. I mean, why they haven't gotten a hold of the simple solution of when they do these events, suspend jump.
Yeah, I agree. They should lock they should lock jump during invasion. I mean, if it's a 2-day, 3-day event, just lock it down.
I'm not really agree with what Brandy says. He said every evasion is like to get harder and harder. I don't think this evasion was harder than the last one, and the last one it's kind of the same, but it's the last few missions are always the toughest one. And if you wanna end the invasion, if you wanna finish the invasion, you in the last few missions or waves, you really have to put in base defenders and willing to take the damage. Otherwise, you won't get it within a decent amount of time.
Yeah.
For me, I'm with Champ. 15 seconds to almost 20 seconds in some of them. Just sitting there doing nothing. And it's just like your screen is frozen. Now, I don't have a slow computer. I don't have a slow internet. So it's not my computer. It's the game. It's the code within the game that's causing it. Waves 1 through 7, quite easy. No defenders. The only thing I had running was Twin Titan. Then 8, 9, and 10, I decided to put defenders in. First time around, it was 17 minutes. Next go around, I'm sitting at wave 9, done, 10 minutes flat. And I'm like going, yes, let's go ahead and do wave 10 after my base heals. Yeah, I was done with 12 minutes, 37 seconds, I do believe. Still within the top 1,000, I think. As far as the glitches go with the jumping and your time getting knocked down to next to nothing, like a minute and 2 seconds. Yeah, no, I agree with everybody that says lock the jumps down. It's a 2 to 3 day event. Pixar needs to lock it down. They did fix it at one point in time, but got busted, obviously. So I'm not going to mention any names, but I have seen a forum post of somebody's customer service where
that's what Midnight Creases is asking about.
He openly admitted to saying, "Hey, this is not intended. It shows my time being 1 minute 2 seconds, yet it's somewhere around the high 9s." They still went ahead and awarded him.
Well, yeah, this is the thing. I mean, I commend him for being proactive and honest. I totally respect the guy, and for that, I'm not going to be a dick to him about it. I mean, go for it. Hey, if going into Walmart, Target, Kmart, whatever you have there, the super center. We're not talking about my really cheap TV.
Yeah. Now it's not like that. It's just similar to that. Honestly, the price that they have marked and showing on these 20 items is $19.99. Yet when you go up there, it's
$9.99.
$9.99. Hey, you're not going to say anything about it, but I mean, or if it's marked at it rings up as $399, you go, no. There's like 40 of them sitting underneath the sign that says $19.99. They got to give it to you. I mean, Granted, customer service could have said, "Thank you for reporting this, yada yada yada. Okay, we'll take care of it." No, they went ahead and gave it to him.
Well, here's my my take on it. And like I said, I'm not going to be a dick. I appreciate him being honest, and that's great. And that's all we ever ask as players, is that all of the community, like me, like you, like this gentleman, you just be proactive and honest. If you see something that is obvious and you didn't deliberately do it, and you're not a manipulating person, inform so that these things can get rectified, so there can be patches and fixes in the game, because this will hurt everybody else. As far as that goes, that's fine. But then Kixeye, I know who gave him the response, and again, I'm not going to dime out the Kixeye representative, the customer service rep, because I actually like him. But the response in return was a bit disheartening. Instead, they know what the true times are. They do. It's embedded in the code that when they go back, they can look and reevaluate and reassess and see, okay, it's actually 9.65 or not 9.65, 9.56 or 8.32, minutes, whatever.
I'm sorry.
Well, hey, they should take his 21 tokens away from him, because it's his
well,
own
that's what I'm
fault.
saying. They shouldn't have awarded it to him in the first place. I don't say they should take it away. They've already given it. Their liability is they've given him the reward. He gets it.
They
shouldn't take it away. No,
they should.
No.
Yeah,
you rewarded him. They chose upon themselves to reward him with that. They're stuck fighting at the bullet. Now, it sucks for us, but they're stuck biting the bullet. I don't want it. He doesn't deserve to have it taken away. It's not like they made a mistake and awarded him something and have to rectify that. They saw it, read it, and awarded him, and it's a good faith measure of sorts. Now, do I feel he deserves all 21? No, he should have gotten a lesser. He should have gotten a lesser thing. He should have gotten.
Right, but he made screenshots of it and he posted it. So they should take it away to learn him a lesson.
They rewarded him for his honesty.
Yeah. Now they were overzealous in the reward.
Right.
They overdid it.
But the scenario there, right? Say that jumps are not disabled the next invasion. We all do this here and then send in a ticket and be rewarded.
Well,
hey,
I
don't promote that, but
we should all copy and paste that ticket that he sent. So the next time when we face the same thing, we just copy and paste it and send in a ticket.
So we're guaranteed there. We're guaranteed to get in the top 100 next time it happens.
It's disturbing that a simple solution was not taken in the first place. They know this has happened.
Table jumps, end of story. Unfortunately, it's going to stop a lot of people. It's going to cost Kixeye a lot of money for PvP and stuff like that there. But
here's a better idea. Why does Kixeye keep fucking piling 2 and 3 events on top of each other? It's a 2-day event. Do it between the PvP season and something else. This again all boils down to Kixeye shoving shit down our throats. It doesn't stop. It never fucking slows down. And I'm tired of it. In a very real way, I am tired of it. Do one damn thing at a time. They ran an event with a mini event with literally less than 24 hours difference after doing one of these style events last time. Well, not last time, but a while back, a couple of months ago. They ran the invasion style event, and then immediately following it was the main monthly event, and we all were like, well, what the fuck, we got like 12 hours to repair our defense shit. They did stuff like this with PvP style events and didn't give us really, that we were all worried that they weren't going to give us enough time in between to repair our units so that we could use them in the upcoming event. Now, in that case, in the secondary case, they actually did give us a few days. I think they gave us a week. But I mean, it keeps us so hemmed up with anxiety of whether or not is it even worth it to really go out and bust our balls and kill our units for this. I'm not coining. I lost my air today. I ain't paying for it. I refuse to. So in my case, I lose my units in the little mini event. I can't repair them in time for the main event. Now I'm shit out of luck for day 1 or 2 of the main event, which means my main event is shortened.
But
Yep.
what are you throwing in the evasion that makes you your units not be repaired in 7 days? Or how
Oh
many
no,
times
no,
do you have?
I'm using as a generalization, not me personally. I used phalanx and technicals, and I had no problem. In fact, the technicals were a godsend. I didn't use all phalanx.
Maybe I made a mistake then. I used all phalanx.
No, no, I used a few. Oh, hold on.
No,
I
phalanx is
used
good because they are powerful and
I
the
only
repair
used
times
7.
are low.
Yeah, I only used 7 phalanx, and the rest was technicals. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 technicals, and 7 phalanx in my base. I had a few of my technicals with the AA rocket, and the rest of them were just general. I think I only had like 3 that had the flame on them, and then I had the 7 phalanx. And like I said, my technique was more using the phalanx for distraction to kill off the troops and to turn the heavy tanks and the light vehicles around so that my rail guns and my base defense would do all the damage. Plus, in my towers I have Dracons, and I'll tell you what, during this event I didn't see the Dragons really shining like they had in other. It almost like they were a little bit more resistant to them.
They saved my ass.
Yeah.
I do gotta tell you, they were powerful, the dragons.
Oh yeah, they were tearing shit up, especially on the Longhorn tanks.
Well,
Yeah.
I watched in again Wave 8. Oh, that may have been something to do with that whole issue. But in Wave 8, Wave 9, when the Longhorn slash what's their technical name, the regular name for them, whatever. When those tanks, those Abrams looking tanks, were coming in,
Billy Goat?
normal. No, the Billy Goat is the other one. Billy Goat is the rockets. The
Billy,
Longhorn.
Billy
the
Goat
Long-
is a nightmarish.
Yes, Billy Goat is the infused nightmares. The Longhorns are the infused
Warhorse.
war horses.
Yeah.
Thank you, Doc. Gotcha. But what normally 2 shots, dead. I had 4 times, 1 tank, 2 Draken balls simultaneously. So 2 Drakens shooting at the same object. Both Drakens hit. Both Drakens hit. Both Drakens hit. And on the 4th, it finally killed the tank. That was fucked up. But again,
What?
I'm gonna pose that to the issues in game, not to actual. It might have been just me that suffered it. So but normally 1 Draken will take it to 99% dead in the first place. You know what I mean?
Should be
And the
2
second
shots.
shot kills it. Yeah.
Did you
Should be 2
upgrade
shots.
the tech for it?
That's the things change during events, and sometimes.
Well, in my eyes, Kickside did made a good move with the 150 token bases to make them easier. I mean, I finally could finish the caretaker bases when they.
And that was good. And, you have to give them a wee bit of sort of credit for that there. So, it's not all one way there. I mean, I thought they were very fair. You know what I mean? You still took a wee bit of damage. You know what I mean? It wasn't like it was free repair.
It wasn't, but at first, to be honest, the first round of the 150 caretaker bases, I couldn't do them with one. I couldn't finish them with 1 caretaker, and after that, I couldn't finish with 2. And then I had something. Well, what the fuck? I'm done with it. And I didn't even try the second round, and the third round, and the final round. I was actually going to try. I thought, what the heck? And then one of my friends said, "Hey, well, they reduced the difficulty of the base," and I said, "Oh, well, then I definitely gotta try one of them." And they actually were quite pretty easy, and I could do them pretty fast. But I do find the caretaker are really difficult to handle.
Yeah, I think that's how they should do the after event basis. They could start out a little bit more difficult, but doable. And then as time goes on, lower them to have more access to them. But but I honestly think at the first go, the caretaker bases were a little too hard. Maybe it's just because the caretakers were, they have various issues with them about units running away, various things. Plus, like you lose one of the units for whatever reason, the rail takes out the Vindicator and the base is pretty much over. So it's like those sort of things are kind of frustrating. Where it's like, and I wasn't breaking out the chaplains either, so that's probably I was always taking them out last. But if I lost my Seeker or something, and there was an air turret left, the brace was pretty much done. You couldn't do anything at that point. So,
I actually did several ways. I saw indeed a video that one person that was straight going to the chaplains and then used the chaplains as shield. And after that, I tried the city way, and I actually like the city way, going straight to the middle, go bar, and then to the Seeker, and then work your way around. And it was a pretty fast way. You took a little damage, but I don't care because I could finish the base within a nice time. And
that's the strategy I liked because you take out the go bar and you lessen the damage that you're taking, and then go straight for it just works your way around. But the final base was like really, really nice. They did a pretty good job. Hopefully a lot of people got through those, and
they should have done it earlier.
Yeah, I do feel that. I got all 5 the first time, got 4 the second time, and got all 5 the third time. So I'm kind of in the lesser category there. But yeah, I think they could have. Like I was saying before, it's like it's nice to have a little bit difficult. But it honestly was just too much for me at the start. But as time goes on, I always think that, you should lower the difficulty just a tad. I mean, for maybe I'll to me it's like they almost did it too much. So for the second one, they could have taken out the rail, and that's it. And then the third one taken out the cryo and the other the middle avalanche like they did. So it's like it's advocating a slow step down. So it's like you can actually have more of a have more people. That's how I always feel like the first people to get it have it can do it difficulty, and then as time goes on, more people have access.
All
right, gents. I hate to do this, but I'm dropping out. Y'all have a good night. And thank you to everybody, including those out, except for the one asshat, which needs to grow the hell up. With that being said, good night.
Later, douche.
All right.
Thank you, David.
Later.
Right, David, there. Good night there.
So, I actually saw an interesting video today about a person that was repairing a tune and put aside a stopwatch. I don't know if you guys ever saw it.
Yeah, I'm not sure Venom saw that video.
Yeah, I don't know if I saw it or not. But,
Sorry.
Okay, Brandy. No, yeah.
To be fair, I believe Venom was quite upset about that issue, and I was joking.
Well, I said last year in context, but it was actually 2016. I did a similar test and had very similar results. But I have a keyboard with a stopwatch timer clock. So I use that, and I didn't actually, put it on the screen next to the thing, so I couldn't have them running simultaneously and record it. But yeah, it was. It's disturbing, but it's something that we all.
It is.
It's sneaky.
No, I feel fucked.
It's definitely one of those things. Like when you look at it the long term, it's definitely a very serious issue because we're talking less than 5 minutes. It costs 1 gold, even though it should be free. But to kind of frame that thing, like when you're looking at an online game and you're trying to determine time and update the UI, that's a difficult thing because the UI is always going to be delayed from what the actual server is showing. So it's like when, they say, it's 5 minutes and 30 seconds and, 10 milliseconds, and they send that information to you. By the time you get it, it's going to be delayed. And, they could look at the system clock and all sorts of things, but those can sort of be manipulated. So, to frame that, though, we don't expect the UI to be updated every tick to the exact time. It sounds easy, but it's difficult considering, people can change the date and time and all sorts of things. But it does. But it, eventually, every 30 seconds, every minute, at some point, they should be accurate and to let us know. I mean, it should even be like 2 or 3 seconds. A delay is acceptable. But when it's especially when you sit there and say like after a couple minutes and you're off by 30 10 seconds, you're like, whoa.
Yeah, but these were nearly an entire minute off, and we're talking 40 odd seconds. And again, I agree. I agree you can be off 3 to 5 seconds with the delay in transmitting from the servers to you and all the jump points that you have to go through in the internet to get to you. And it's the same aspect in me sending information to the server to say, move the tank here. I expect a certain amount of reactionary lag. I say go, it says, okay, we're going to go. Gets there and then comes back. And when you're playing PvP, that's exacerbated because you have two totally different people in two totally different sections of the world, both trying to communicate with this one server and balance the battle between the two players. I can understand that. And I don't want people to think that I'm some hypocrite and I don't realize that. I do get pissy and crybaby shit about certain things all the time, specifically when it comes to stuff like lag and issues like that. But it's not always entirely Kixeye's fault. However, Kixeye has a responsibility to make these issues as limited as possible, as minor as possible, so that we have the best possible product to play. That said, 2 seconds, fine. 5 seconds, fine. 45 seconds to a minute, no. That's not acceptable.
I think the video, to me, it was hard to kind of watch the timer, but to me, they should have hit lap at when they were close enough to the minute they were calculating, because the lap would have said, it's would have started ticking up like, hey, I'm at 1 second past the time that I thought I should be, and then we could have definitely seen the
yeah. Well, I took off. I mean, we're dealing with aggregates, obviously. And I subjected his, the moment his eyes see the number and he goes to click for his 6 minutes or two minutes or whatever, and he tries to click it off and whatever. But I give that, and I'll take those tenths of a second off. I think it was like 32 tenths of a second or something. So I'll subtract that with the reflex action of him starting the clock and stopping the clock. So he might be off 15 hundredths of a second on the start, and 15 hundredths of a second on the completion to stop the timer when he sees the number click for what he thinks is that Kixeye's clock minute clicking over and then clicking over again. When I did mine, I was about 38 seconds off, and I did it multiple times over a 4-month period, just randomly, and I always seemed to govern around 30 to 40 seconds off, typically in the 36, 38 second range. And what I said, in closed comments was, it really is taking money out of your pocket, because if, as Micaiah said, if you're expecting to have a certain amount of free repair at a certain time period, be it the final 4 minutes and 59 seconds is free.
That's honestly why I don't keep the one shadow gold on my account, because it's like that's where that one shadow gold would go. Shadow Killer likes to keep 1 gold on his count to signify. But to me it's like that disappears, because I'm like waiting for my tune, and it's like 4 minutes 57 seconds. I click, free, and all of a sudden it's like, this comes back. Oh, there goes one gold.
Yeah.
It's like, do you open a ticket and say, "Hey, I'd like my one gold back"? It's like,
if you
honestly,
don't have points, it doesn't happen.
I really think the free repair should just, less than 10 minutes should just take 5 minutes off. It's like an active click button that reduces the time by 5 minutes. So it's like,
we didn't have.
It's kind of a crazy idea, but
no, we didn't have such serious issues until they changed the functionality of how repairs went. When we just started repairs and it click down, platoon, to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next in sequential order, we didn't have these issues as much. Yeah. Since they've altered that repair system, that's when all this shit started to blow up. So there's something that is catastrophically corrupt in their system when it comes to repairs. I mean, I schedule shit. It doesn't repair. It terminates, and thank God for Dutch. He gave me another issue to help rectify that. When I go to leave my base, I not only do the typical wait for the red box and double click save and save resources, go out of the base, go back into the base, just to try to make sure that the repairs stay locked on and continue to click away. Because many a time I've had a 4-hour repair, and I go through the whole motion and it looks like it's holding, and I log off, or I click out of my base, or I go downstairs and it times out. I come back, I log back in, and pops back up, "Would you like to start your repairs?" And I'm like, wait a minute, I've only been gone for 5-10 minutes. So I go back in and it's repairing a different platoon, or it's just not repairing anything at all, which is asinine in itself. So that hurts us. But back on the original topic is, like you said, it hurts that one gold for that one repair. But systematically, all these aggregates add up. If it's 30 seconds on this platoon now, it's 30 seconds on the next platoon later, and so forth and so on.
Oh, yeah.
And over the course of time, you're actually having your coin go to nothing, because you're paying coin on minutes and seconds to repair your shit. For those who do coin their repairs, that is support drop packets, my ass. You're paying this coin out, 20 coin, 15 coin, when in reality that repair screwed you out of 1 gold. So if you add that gold to the next time they get you screwed, to the next time you get screwed, to the next time you get screwed, how many times have you been completely fucked over and screwed out of a minute here and a minute there that all adds up to maybe 1,000 gold, maybe 20,000 gold? You know what I mean?
The long term is, it's, that's why it's like, even though it's a delay, it's like, to me, it's like, if this is a delay, every 1 minute or every 2 minutes is costing us 40 seconds, that quickly adds up, and it's, who knows what the total. I've heard a lot of people saying, their 8-hour repair takes a day or something. It's like, so there's a lot of, difficult, to hammer it all out, but it's a lot more expensive than.
So, but it does add a little credence to all the players who have started a repair, and it's a 4-hour repair or whatever, and they come back 4 hours later and it's not done, and they're like, "What? It should be done. Why is it saying it's got 32 minutes left?" All the players that have gone through that kind of issue, at least now you're not nuts. There's legitimate reason and causality for it. So,
but sometimes when it's just getting over the time when you have to pay and it goes into the free repair time zone, people that want to click too fast, the game hasn't been caught up yet, not safe yet.
That's a difficult one to sit there and say, what's the thing there? But honestly, it's one of those things. Like, every time I spend gold, to me, it's like, I don't know if people would appreciate this, but I just really would like a pop-up. Are you sure you want to spend this gold or something? It's always, it's kind of crazy, but it's like, to me, it's like, it's like a confirmation, because those are honestly there's two things that would really encourage me to spend gold. Is those two things. I know they're kind of wish list items, but it's like one of those. I mean, I spend it, but it's like I bought the base upgrade package, but it's like I went out and got the gold, or topped it off or whatever to get that package alone, and it's like I'm not keeping 500 gold on my account, or buying a gold cell package or something, because it's like it's not worth it when it's like it's sort of over time your gold seems to drop down for mistakes.
All right.
Well, what kinds of, okay, so you got that is a very good thing. I mean, I understand in the heat of trying to do base repairs or plat repairs for plat sniping in a heated PvP battle in a war zone, having secondary confirmation buttons, like purchasing. Obviously, we've had so many where the purchasing queue wasn't. That's your age. was shown to cause a lot of issues where you click on it inadvertently and purchase shit you didn't want to purchase.
Part of that is having, so I'm just imagining this UI pops up. Hey, you're about to spend 250 gold. Do you want to do that? But then also below that, they always have that check here if you want to dismiss this, and have that set as an option. So it's like there's, I understand what you're saying. Like, hey, to me, it's like +2. You can also set, another way to do it would be set a gold threshold. Like, I don't care if I spend less than 5 gold. Don't ask me. But if I spend more than 25, ask me. So that's intelligent. I like that. I like the threshold setting. It doesn't bother the small, quick plat repair for fighting in a war, but for major gold purchases or major coin reductions out of your bank, it would caution you so you're not losing the 25, 35, 50, 100 gold by accident. That also, just to real quick get in here, the only other thing that I really, really fucking demand, and obviously now it's never going to be done because I'm acting all big and fucking snobby to the great Kickside overlords, but having a leave button or a return to map button in platoons when you are the aggressor or the defender in plat sniping. Because as it stands, if you're the attacker, you can leave. You can drop your shit, deploy something, and then leave. But if you're defending and somebody attacks your platoon, the only recourse you have is to refresh, and that fucks you, especially in a game that's so full of issues like lag and disconnect.
Your only option really is to retreat your tune.
I don't want to retreat my... but see, here's the thing, champ. If it's outside your base, I'll tell you this. This is what upsets me. I don't get attacked by one fucking player. I have not been attacked by one player at a time since I've been 36, 35.
Oh, yeah, I understand.
I'm 44 now. So when I get attacked, it's 5 and 6 goddamn dickless morons hitting my base. And I only say that because they fucking get in. But 5 or 6 players use a very common and intelligent strategy, and they'll gang up to break down the defenses that I have outside, because I'll have all 10 platoons outside defending. And I can usually, my computer's very fast, and I can usually snipe tunes. But if I'm being attacked simultaneously, 5 tunes getting hit by 5 players, this game has begun to lag to a point where nothing works.
Well,
I can't get into my base. I can't move my base defenses.
That's the intent.
Yeah, I understand.
That's the intent of those players, and
they're laggy out there. It's a glitch used by Kickside.
And I understand that. Okay, I'm not angry at that. I'm not mad about that. I understand that's the purpose. It's the same as people used to put 100 ERMs in their base to lag out. My point is, if I have these tunes locked into attacks, that means at least there's something physical on the world map preventing that space from opening to allow that player to get into the base. I'm already suffering the lag, which means if I get into my base, I won't be able to honestly and properly defend because my units are already being screwed over from all the lag that's having because my base is under attack by so many different players simultaneously, and it screws up all the information trying to decipher who's doing what, where, and when. Because theoretically, in my opinion, I'm not a computer genius, but theoretically, the computer thinks that my one player is attacking simultaneously 5 things. So it's like, well, is this tank doing this or is that tank doing that? And I can understand. My point being, if I retreat one of those, it just opens up the space. So that lets them bring their tune in to kill my base. I don't want them to get up against my base. The whole point is to keep them the fuck out. So I should be able to leave, go to one of the tunes that's out on the world map that's not being attacked, do a pincer move or whatever, come around from the back end when their attack's complete. I can then snipe that tune.
I was saying that I play on Poker Stars and that there. You see, whenever I DC or disconnected, it's known that I've disconnected from the client or from my like internet and that there. Like I'm given an extra 120 seconds to get back into the game.
Huh.
And I'm allowed 5 of them in 24 hours, so I'm there, just in case I deliberately do that.
I can see a Venom situation. What I would do in that situation, if I have at least 1 or 2 really kind of good defensive tunes outside of my base, and one of those players, decides to attack one of those 2 or 1 or 2 good tunes, I would join the attack on that tune if I can.
Well, yeah,
and then hopefully I will get some gratification of at least taking some of their air or whatever they deploy in that tune.
Well, typically what I try to do, and this is where the whole root of it is. Typically what I try to do is I will keep either a detonator or I will keep not a liberator, but a detonator, a Spartan ZK with the cloak, or even to the point where I have a certain amount of SF, the cloaking SF in a tune. And what ends up happening is I will join, if I'm being hemstruck by a lot of players, 5, 6 people at a time, yeah. I'll join a tune that I think is connected to one of their heavies. And I will then move one of my, or 2 or 3, depending on how many are in that platoon. I won't get into specifics, but I'll move my cloaked invisible units and spread them out, knowing that this is going to prevent them from killing that tune 100%. They're just going to be flying around forever and ever. Ruby or not, the number of units that I have that are cloaked, you won't see them. You won't be able to kill them all. And it's worked before. But once I've done that, I've gone into this one tune and I'm spreading out my units and positioning my cloaked ones off screen out of the way so you can't get to them. And then you'll be flying around for the 6 minutes trying to find the damn thing. I can't leave to go do that to another tune. I can't leave to go into my base to start my power plants or to, change something around really quick or to heal a base unit.
That all disappeared once they came out with the retreat function.
Well, the retreat is fine, and I don't mind retreat. I don't mind. I still think it's good for a lower level player who doesn't lose all his shit. No, I don't use it. I don't like it personally because I figure you're caught. That was the old game. And yes, I'm tried and true. If you get fucked, you're fucked. And I've been a good sniper when I was a lower level player. Not a great sniper, but I've gotten a hell of a lot better over time. But yeah, you're caught. And it does suck when you catch somebody's heavy and you send your O Phantom over to wipe shit out and they retreat right before the bombs drop. You're like, damn.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. I don't mind that, but they should add to it the leave.
Yeah.
Or not even leave, but return to map.
Yeah.
Because even that, if it returns to map, then if I want to go into my base, I still have to go out to the map and then enter my base separately, which I think is fine. That actually gives a balance to it where you could still get your base under attack. It's not putting you straight into your base where you can defend from there.
I agree. They should still have the leave function. So at least you can do what you say. You can enter an attack on one of your tunes. You can spread the tunes out. You can go to the next tune, do the same thing.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. It's my own little pet peeve. It's one of many.
I know it's kind of late, but I promised Jason. We're asking questions, and Jason wanted to know. I don't know if we talked about this in chat, but anyone have Diamond Tech on their phalanx? Does it seem like they're less damage or more?
Yeah, I have mine upgraded to level 4. I have level 16 phalanx, and the Diamond Techs work. Diamond Tech, you do notice a difference with that Diamond Tech.
So is it a positive difference, or are you noticing a negative?
Yes, it's a very good difference. It does help a lot. Plus 10% damage, plus 10% health. It's not gonna hurt you by any means.
Yeah, so it's good to see that I was hoping people would. Well, I don't know, it'd be, but
yeah.
So it's, I always run into that. Sometimes it's like it works for some, doesn't work for others. So I think.
Yeah, I have noticed a difference. It does work very well.
Yeah, part of that is hard to see. Like, how do you test these units? Like, do you? It's like, to me, it's like you get out your stopwatch. Oh, it lasted for. It did. Took out this purifier in 3 seconds. Or
if you want to test it, I think a good test would be on a Veracraft 65 base.
Yeah.
Right. You test it with. You can put 12 phalanx in a tune. Try it with the Diamond Tech and without. And send your tunes to your base each time. See how much repair time you have, and then compare the difference.
Definitely a good idea to sort of see, because so I mean, I'm glad Champ is sort of saying that he is getting the positive, even though Jason's heard that I believe that was his name, has heard that people have someone saying that it got worse. So it's always good to kind of test things yourself. A lot of it is just kind of feelings for what works and doesn't.
Seems to be working for me. That's all I can say.
Okay, well, cool. I mean, I felt like we wanted to get to it.
Yeah. Good question.
I got the same. I got them also on level 4 on the phalanxes, and they are doing great. So it definitely works for me too.
Sorry to take over. Brandy also had this. I think we talked about this a little bit before. It says, "What do you think about hookers able to go over mountains?" Wasn't it? I'm like kind of. I wasn't aware that they kind of changed it, but I always kind of remember like.
Yeah,
that seems like the point of hookers, to be able to go over mountains, to be able to move around on the map. But then apparently they took that away, and it's like you can't do it anymore. So I'm not sure if she's asking if we can get it back.
They did take that away. And I remember when they had that out, we used to have tune sniping battles in the mountains, and it was fun as hell. So I have no idea why they took that away. But
I wonder if it's kind of those edge cases where it's like if you land on a mountain and your hooker's in, and it's like, what do you do?
Yeah, I don't.
Honestly,
it's
like
I think they, if I remember right, they took that feature away when they came out with dropships.
Well, I still remember paladins and challengers in the mountains.
The old polish.
Yeah, paladins and challengers stuck in the mountains on the world map. Every mountain had a challenger just sitting on it, or paladin.
Yes.
Anyway, so that's kind of a couple questions. I know Brandy had another question about interesting game, but it's like you kind of, we've talked about that a lot, but it's definitely one of those things to continue to. But anyway, so I'll let the show host take over.
Okay. No, well, that was basically the topics that I had in my mind. I don't know if there are any questions from YouTube that want to be asked, or any topics that anyone want to bring up. We do got the event coming up, so I don't know.
Are you still around, Slim? Because I had you were mentioning something pre-show, and I was thinking about asking you about it because it seemed like an interesting topic for me, at least.
You'd have to remind me what that thing would be.
It was your positive, encouraging Bernie to put out more podcasts.
Yeah. Yes, Hunter.
I'm not. I don't remember who that was, but I thought that was you, Slim. So
Hunter,
They should be on tomorrow.
you know, I'll be sorry.
I think it should be the last of the
Yeah.
boss bases
last
tomorrow.
one.
Should be the last of them there tomorrow.
Yes, they are because Thursday. No, yes, Thursday we got the event. So this will be the last Sunday for the bus bases for the siege squadron, the elite parts.
And I will say out to the Unshackled community, anybody who's on a clan on their own or a small clan, you know, if they want to jump to any of our guys there, we will help them out there, so we will there.
So everybody that needs their parts of the elite squadron, the siege squadron, tomorrow is your last chance. So get them while you can.
Get them there.
Until they offer it for like, you know, 20 gold, $20 worth of gold.
And if you're stuck there, please post on Unshackled there that you can't do it or you don't know how to do it, or I will show you a way there. But do it early. Do it very early.
A lot of people that know how to do them, and they can give you tips and tricks and talk you through it. The down part is that they are one hit only, so you cannot open them for somebody else. So
we can still do it though.
Yeah, they still can do it. So
Brandy says, Dane, event time already?
Coming up, yep.
Well, I was just, Micaiah, I was just going to say some encouraging words to Bernie, because I really enjoyed some of the information that they gave out in the podcasts that they've come out with, and I just like to keep seeing those.
Yeah, it's just nice to, you know, I was glad to hear it. You know, I know there's some dissenting things, you know, it's a mixed bag, but it's really nice to hear that there are positive things. You know, to me, it's like information out there is great, so it's definitely why it's nice. But you know, it's kind of the formats and some of the other stuff. But it's I don't know. I just thought it was positive.
Yeah, I have the opposite thing to say about that. I think it's a stupid idea, and I think they should keep their scripted shit to themselves. If they want to come talk to the community, come talk to us. We're right here, whether it be this show or any other show. You know, yeah, I don't want to see a Kickside moderator talking to what's his face, Golden Doodle or whatever the fuck his name is, or whoever else, or you know, no one cares about your name. No one cares about the players' names. You know, get on here, talk to us. You know, we're right here. We're ready for your answers to our questions.
Look, a completely unbiased and separate episode could be made on a third-party channel that would have, you know, two members from each show.
Exactly.
A moderator who's not beholden to any of the shows, and then, you know, one or two of the Kickside representatives, and that would be very, very respectable. And
there's
you know,
if we had reason there, not there. Besides it all there, you know what I mean? There's another option. There you go.
And you know, I could very happily, you know, moderate something like that, or Dutch could very happily moderate something like that, where you have a member of this show or two members from this show, and to ask questions. You have two members from, you know, Situation Room. You have two members from the other show, and then that's six people from the shows, six representatives, or even one member of the show, and then one random loyal, fan, member of that brand. So, you know, you have, for example, you know, Brandy could come on, just for throwing names that are in YouTube right now.
Yep.
Brandy and say
person as well.
Yeah, so say Brandy and then Dutch. Those would be the Unshackled members. And then you'll get somebody from you know, Situation Room, and one of their fans can get on. And then the two of you can get together in a hangout separately. For this example, Brandy and Dutch, you can iron out, say, 10 talking point questions. The two of you come on to the show, with the other two members from the other show and the other two members from the third show. You each have your 10 questions. We ask them to the panelists, being the Kicksai representatives, and just see how it goes. Because, like you said, scripted stuff is good to a point, but when basically all you're doing is relaying exactly what's already been posted on the forums,
you might as well just do a copy and paste and put it in the freaking forums, man.
Exactly.
That's what it is there.
There's no point in that shit.
It's there.
Copy and paste your shit. We don't want to waste our time watching your stupid podcast when we can just read about it on the forums.
The thing is, the questions they answer are questions that have already had answers and conclusions.
Well, yeah. Some of the stuff that's like, duh, we already know about that.
Like,
Duh.
It's already been said.
You know the way there's a new initiative there for customer support and stuff like that there and all that jazz. Like, if you have a problem with something there, do you send it a text or do you ask your friends?
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't realize this would be such an exciting topic, but part of that is like
There's a friend of
Ken
mine
was saying, they're sharing stuff that we already know, but it's like, so then they're like, oh yeah, season 7 or whatever the next season.
It's like,
there's some really cool stuff in there, but we can't tell you. It's like, if we don't know and you can't tell us, what's the point? You might as well say, hey,
don't mention it. Just don't mention it. Don't bring it up.
The thing is, they're not even sharing stuff we know that they don't even know about, or that shit hasn't been addressed by Kickside.
Yeah, that's
Anton, you were saying?
I made an event post about stuff that we know about what's going on in the event, and usually they used to post, hey, we're going to get a new survivor unit. It's like they used to post that, like the monthly event thing, and now they don't even kind of share that. And it's like at the last minute they're like, oh yeah, things are happening. Plus, too, when they release information about the event, it's raw, and you're like, what the hell?
Yeah. What were you saying, Anton? Before we unfortunately interrupted, you said something about your friend.
Sorry.
That's okay. No, he stepped away. All right. Oops.
Okay. If this is gonna be silent, I actually thought, well, since tomorrow the boss bases are out, I still got a video of one of the last boss bases I did.
Nice.
So I
love
thought
analyzing
maybe
videos.
I just hope they don't change them for tomorrow. I don't think so, but if they don't, then
it's one of the, not to get back on that topic, but it's one of those things I hope they do kind of reduce it a little bit, because it's been out for a very long time. So now more people should have access to it. But yeah.
But the thing is, I always do the bases on my way. I mean, there are many ways, and people always say, well, you got maybe better units than I. Well, yeah, I've been working for them, and I'm used them. So,
a quick question, because I have to do these tomorrow as well. What are the victory conditions of the base?
The units, you gotta kill all the units.
So all the Ravengers in the siege?
Yes.
Yeah, so there's like 3 groups of Ravengers on the ground, plus they'll be dropping Ravengers, and you have to kill all of those as well. So it's kind of a combination of getting enough units out there to kill the base, because pretty much you have to kill the entire base, and then have enough to put damage on the air, because the longer that air is up, I've seen 50 to 100 Ravengers, and you can easily kill them up with Phalanx and War Dogs at the end there, but it kind of gets overwhelming to have 100 Ravagers try to kill you.
Right now, I think the go-to unit is still the Hades, or is it the Hades or Technicals?
No, Hades.
Yeah, everybody swears by the Hades because they do more damage, but I think it's just it depends. If your Hades are max level with the plus 25% damage, they're probably going to be the best because of damage types. But if your technicals are like, pretty high, then they can do. I like the technicals because they actually, when the plane is leaving, the Phalanx can't shoot it because it's too far away. But you always get a couple more shots off. But
for this particular,
for the best units, the Hades. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna run the video.
For this particular video, my tune of choice was Jug, Ardra, 4 Vindicators, and the rest all Hades.
So
you take it with minimal damage that way.
I have an alt that's pretty low, and he doesn't have all the high tech, so it's always nice to. I always like to get that. Kind of.
what I use in here is Juggernaut and the Adra and Phalanx and Technical. I try to use keep them together, so the Adra can take the punishing hits of the Revengers. And always remember, put your Hades on standstill. Because once the siege squadrons starting to take over or flying over, your Hades trying to run after them. And what I do is always trying to keep my Phalanx and my Technical and my Adra close to my Juggernaut.
Now, some of the other videos that I'd seen, they automatically, as soon as they deploy their Hades, they put them down in that lower left corner. You don't. You wait with them up.
I do that. Right. I do that too sometimes, but it's not that the siege squadron. It's not always following the same flight path.
Okay, no, it's changing its flight path every time, but
yeah, he would have been better off.
What I mean to say,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I set my Hades right there where the defense lab is, thereabouts, or where that hunter missile is.
But what I'm meaning to say is the first flyover is not always from the same spot.
Okay.
It's tending to change sometimes, because I did the same. What you were just saying, I did the same. After a while, I think, oh gee, now I got it, and then couple of times it
Those are some serious Hades
spawning from another position.
All right, thank you. That's the stuff that I need to know.
But what you want to do is you want to take down that siege squadron as soon as possible, because the less Revengers you gotta kill. And always, what I said before, always try to keep your Adra close to your Juggernaut. Because if your Adra is getting too far, then the Revengers take fire at your Juggernaut. And I can tell you, those Revengers can do a lot of damage. And you don't want the damage on the Juggernaut.
Any space available to run a caretaker in there, or is it necessary? So you could double that up, have your Ardra and your caretaker along with.
What I actually have, I got in the same squad that I have my Ardra, I got one Technical with a sustain gun and one Phalanx.
Okay.
And he's not moving his jug past too much further, because once your jug gets too far ahead, then it's like you're getting hit from behind and you got too many forces in front. And then it's like that's one of the keys here about taking less damage is, do not let those Ravagers near your Juggernaut, because it will be a bad day at that point.
It's always a range game.
So you see, my Ardra is soaking up the most damage.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how much damage I took on this one, but I think it was around maybe 50 minutes. I'm not sure if I'm showing that in this video, my repair times, but
this is actually this is kind of the best case scenario, because it's like you're dealing with the Ravagers. You're sort of back here on the back line. You're inching forward, dealing with the Ravagers as they come, taking out the siege as fast as possible, and then that way you don't have 25 because the longer those are up, the more they drop, and it starts getting insane after a few minutes.
So what I'm doing here, I thought there was somewhere a missing Scavenger or Revenger. But if you cannot find them, put your units on Fist. See, now I saw them finally, and there it was. But sometimes they are very hard to spot and to see. And if you cannot find them, just put your units on Fist, because they will start automatically go to the missing unit.
Nice.
once I kill the siege squadrons, I retreat my air and drop in phalanx or dogs. Or war dogs are actually kind of nice. I like the phalanx because they can shoot multiple times. War dogs actually, they do pretty good, but they can take some pretty significant damage if they're not backed up. You know, I mean, like 6 or 7 do really good, but.
So, yeah, I took on this one 20 minutes, but normally you should be taking about less than 10 minutes. So they are quite doable. And even when you take after 10-20 minutes, you can do a couple. Actually, more than enough.
Well, I know what I'll be doing tomorrow.
Well, I'm happy I got all my 40 parts.
Well, it's actually kind of nice because you can repeat the siege squadron boss, and so every couple you get a siege squadron part for your 8 parts. So you can do the Shoutouts and kill the base at the same time. So it's actually pretty decent. Plus, as soon as you get your 40 parts, it's an instant upgrade. So it's kind of nice. Well, once your Hainer's free.
And they do pay out caretaker tech. So everybody that needs caretaker tech, this is the way to get
basically, I just got to do 40 of them.
What? You got to be kidding me.
I got 0-40.
You got to be fucking kidding me, man.
Well, you only need to do 38, right? Something.
Yeah.
35.
Well, yeah, the first one's like a 5, and then the rest are.
It's 5, 4, 3, 2. So.
I've actually used the siege squadron.
Or you just like a challenge.
Yeah, okay, I'll take that. Or I'm just a procrastinating, lazy son of a bitch who just didn't do them.
I've actually used that elite siege squadron in PvP attack, and it does all right for its good distraction unit.
Yeah, I use my regular one, and exactly that. I mean, I don't use it standalone. I just used it to basically turn all the guns inward on the Ravengers that are inside the base after they spawn and deploy. And then I used my external air, my Blackout, and Titan with its drones to just level bases. And I was hitting, level 45s, level 44s with very little problems whatsoever.
Well, I've been running a couple tests with the Siege Squadron. At that time, it was still just a regular one. I wasn't quite happy, but I'm not ready to write it off yet, because I just want to see once my Ravengers are upgraded maximum. I think that's where the unit will get his strength.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, my Ravengers are going to 6 now, so.
All those high-level Ravengers that will taking on the fire, so other units can have their way at the base.
I have a question because this event we're still doing Blackout tech. So theoretically, if we follow the trend, the next set of 3 events after 2 events from now is going to be Siege Squadron tech. So,
no, hold on. The only thing about that hypothesis is the Siege Squadron itself as a plane. I don't know if that's going to be in our workshop. The Ravengers might.
Okay,
you might see Ravenger tech.
but I think he's talking about the sector drop,
the base,
the Omega parts.
My question is based on the workshop. So if y'all were coming up with workshop tech for it, what do you think the Siege Squadron still needs to make it a good unit, whether it be the Ravengers or the Siege Squadron itself?
What it needs? It needs a shock tech, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, okay. So a shock tech for the Ravengers.
Yeah.
What would you put on the plane itself?
I don't know. Maybe a machine gun or
defensive
no weaponry.
Defensive
okay.
flares.
You guys are all thinking too small. You're all thinking like, this is the old War Commander. This is the new War Commander. We need high-flying engines.
Someone said cloak.
Turn the Siege Watcher into high altitude.
Defensive flares.
Probably.
Defensive flares.
A little bit more speed.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Take your pick.
Yeah,
I wanna-
I like both Hunter's idea of cloak, and I
No.
really do like a defensive flat, flares or chaff
I-
that comes out the back. That's
No.
nice.
Or
I would add a defensive cannon, so it
No,
will shoot. It
no,
will
you
shoot
can't-
also.
You can't put any guns on the plane. That's
What
already
kind of
Why not?
sensible plane has no guns, man?
well, any troop transport, but that's irrelevant. But
Yeah,
here's
it's a troop transport plane. Okay, fine.
so here was one of my ideas is having either one of two ideas, having either when the pods actually hit the ground, they do an amount of damage, whether it be or an increased drop rate of the pods as they're flying across the thing.
good. Because you touched on my idea basically.
But they already do that. Once you get it upgraded to elite, it will triple the amount of Ravagers dropping. And if you get it to Omega, it will it will be 5 times.
Yeah, but like as it's going across the map, it averagely drops 3 to 5 series as it goes.
Instead of it dropping 9 with 1 siege squadron, and 3 times that and 3 times that or 5 times that, it would drop say
15 or
14
10. 10 to 14.
I think that the Phantom actually has what they do is they increase the drop speed, so it's like it drops at 1 every 3 seconds or something like now. So now it would drop it every second. So that would be the tech that they would probably.
How about
That's already one of the problems. You get 100 of those units out. It's already insane.
how about instead of dropping Ravagers, dropping a Juggernaut?
I would me personally, because Slim hit my idea basically right on the head. When the pods explode, as the
Wait,
Ravagers
somebody is
come,
breathing heavily. Somebody is doing a Dutch.
yeah, it's probably it's not me, but I would like to see, because the Ravagers are a troop, and I don't want to completely buff them to a point where they're kind of unkillable. I would have liked to seen shock so that guns would no longer, oh God, Peel's here, so that guns would basically be put out of commission while they're landing, give them a little more purchase in the fight. But I would personally like to see, when they drop, a concussion happen. So if they land near a troop, what up? So if they land near a troop, it concusses that troop. If they land near a tower, it concusses that tower. Then
or maybe a mixture of both shock and concussion for a short period of time, or for
very short duration. Well, I think it's one or the other. I don't want to OP them too much.
Yeah,
So
What are we talking about?
we were just spitballing ideas because as Slim brought up, the upcoming typical tech format would put us into Siege Squadron / Ravengers, because I said, because the planes are planes, they don't really get any tech, they just drop. But the Ravengers might get new tech coming up shortly, and we were just spitballing. If you were able to put one item onto the Siege Squadron and one item onto the Ravengers that come out, what would you want to see added to them?
Interesting. I know what I'd like to see. I'd like to see them last for 16 seconds, like the fucking description says they do.
Okay, so that would be armor.
But that's I think a difference between a level 1 Ravager and maybe a maxed out Ravager. I think those 60 seconds are preferring to a max Ravager.
I think those 16 seconds goes along with that video of the stopwatch. What's 16 to us is not necessarily 16 to Kicks.
Oh yeah, okay. So the 16 kick size seconds.
Yeah,
which is like 1 second.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it meant 16 seconds in Micaiah's base, 0 seconds in Champs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're testing it out in like fucking rogue 30 bases.
Yeah, that's true.
And you're like, wow, these units can take out this entire rogue 30 base. They must be awesome.
Yeah, so can Jericho.
So can one fucking Liberator.
Once I killed everything in the Metal 90 base, it was fun dropping a Siege Squadron. It took me 20 minutes after that point, but
I don't know, man. I'm you know what's bugging me is the repair time on the unit.
Yeah, what is the repair time on it?
If you don't have it in any special platoon, it's 14 hours and 58 minutes.
Okay, so
For
we'll go down to
standard-
about 7 minutes.
It's 15 hours, just the same as your Mega Phantom,
Yeah, it's about normal.
Mega Titan, or Herald.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it doesn't compare to your Herald or your Titan or your Phantom. It just doesn't compare logically that kind of repair time sits on a unit that is
its damage output at the moment is lacking. I mean, sure, it's got a shit ton of health,
Power. It's
but
lacking of power.
it can't. Yeah, you can't really do much with it.
And besides its distraction abilities, you can't really control it. So it's
exactly.
kind of hard
So you
to
really are
strategically use.
Yeah, and it's difficult. I mean, like I said, my basic use for it is exactly what you said. It's just strategy for distraction, but it's hard to basically wait for it to do what it's going to do, and you really have to be cognizant of which direction it's going to come out of, so that you can fly your units behind it.
I think it'll come out from where your air is.
It's supposed to start where your air spawn is, but the problem is after that it does its own crosshatch over the center of the base.
It doesn't keep going, does it? It just does one strife and then it goes kind of like the Phantom does, doesn't it? Or does it just keep going strife until
it will continue to it'll go off screen and it'll come back at a random area until you hit cancel. As long as it's alive, as long as it has some health, it will continue to keep coming back.
But theoretically,
similar to Oni's.
The way to cancel that is to just retreat it when it's finished its first run.
Yes.
Then it should end up resetting back to the original position. Yeah.
I'll have to test that. I didn't think about that.
I haven't tested it. I haven't used it. I only just realized like yesterday or some shit that it's finished building.
Let's test it right now, guys.
All right. Screen hey, but,
who wants to get in game?
But remember, if you want to cancel the flight, as Venom said in the previous show,
make sure you're not in the middle of the base.
Don't cancel during mid-flight or even before the flight as a panic attack. Then it's flying over, but it's not dropping any canisters.
Yeah, if you deploy it and you've made a mistake, do not cancel it, retreat it. You have to end attack. If you cancel retreat, it will stop dropping pods and it'll just fly slow.
All right.
1%.
Okay, so what base do you want to see this on here?
That base that's right underneath you.
This one, that's 45?
No,
I was going to say a player base.
No, fuck that.
Yeah, it's screwed.
Just jump at me real quick, champ.
What's his name? Unreal chick came to my set and hit me offline the other day.
Hit any random base you're comfortable with. After all, this is only an exhibition to see whether or not Field's retreat and reset works.
Okay, so theoretically, my air should deploy from the north in this base, right?
Theoretically, yes. It should come from your 9-10 o'clock-ish.
All right, champ, you're pretending.
Okay.
The hunters in there are just going to destroy the shit out of it, though.
No, they won't.
No, they won't. They shouldn't.
I'm joking.
They're very low-level hunters.
Okay, so guys, before I run this, I'm going to take Ruby off. But so you want me to do a complete run-through, exit, right?
Okay, once you've seen the siege squadron pass over that far right tower, then you'll hit the negative retreat key.
Okay.
And then you'll wait a couple of seconds and redeploy to see whether or not it deploys again from that northwestern corridor, or if it starts to deploy from a different direction.
It's fucking dropping the
all right.
With that elite
let them do their drop. And then you want me to redeploy again after this?
Yeah.
Just wait.
So once they pass the walls, you can hit your negative, and then they'll zone off the screen. Wait a couple seconds to make sure they're not
Holy shit.
deploying.
It takes quite a damage from a 60.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
well-
I did.
And then
Hit
deploy
the-
it again.
Yeah, you got two
Yeah.
hunters in there for
They
sure.
deployed again now.
And see whether she comes back from that same location or if she comes from a different strafing run direction.
Wait, all the
Okay.
bets haven't come in.
Yep,
There-
same.
Yeah, it comes back, so it resets. Awesome,
Same.
Peel.
You should retreat and try again, see if it's just random.
Now don't retreat. Now just leave it.
Well, by this
Just
time,
like-
the base is going to die at this point. But
It's not the
if you
point. The
just-
point is just to
let it do
see
its
where
thing.
it comes from.
it'll
Actually,
probably
that's-
come from the north. It's either going to come from the northeast down, or it's going to come left to right, straight across.
Yeah,
There it
came
is.
from left to right there.
Left to okay.
Goes north to
All right.
south, east.
So there's
The
there's
next
your
one will
solution
come.
to
The next one will come south up. It does this weird XE craziness.
that. Can you control the Ravengers?
The Ravengers,
Mhm.
yes. Ravengers you can control. The planes you cannot.
Yeah, but you gotta take control of them. They are not.
Yeah.
There you go.
Plus, you have to have them on Ruby, unfortunately, to actually be effective. But
Yeah.
that's
but
I always
that's-
counted by how many
That's,
siege passes it takes. I'm like, oh,
But
it's a 2.5 siege pass base.
but that's the down part. If you because the sea
You,
squadron,
you have
you
a set
gotta-
on Ruby. These Ravengers are just going on their own.
yeah. But if you're
Yeah.
using another unit beside the siege squadron, that's gonna be Ruby too.
Yeah,
And you don't want that.
that's
Yeah.
that's the big issue, and that's what I told. That's what I brought up when we first discussed it. Is
So the repair time is not going to be worth that 65, but just to show you
Oh,
guys what the repair
yeah.
time is here.
Definitely
You know, that
not.
it's going to be probably a couple hours, few hours repair
Yeah.
on that air
Oh,
tune
yeah.
there.
I'd say a good 2-3 hours, maybe more, 3.5.
One thing
but
that
is
changed
it 1/8 of 1/4 of one little health square? Then that's like 5 hours right there.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
for the people out there that one way to do that is to take your Jericho and take
Yeah,
out
3
the
hours.
hunters, and then drop your siege squadron. Because that's usually
This is a bar and a half right there, 3 hours. So bar is an hour and a half.
No, that doesn't work. It's not consistent across.
Sorry, how much repair was it?
3 hours exactly.
Exactly 3. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Thank you,
it's
champ.
testing out
For
the health
science.
bars are it's like a sliver of health. It changes it
Put you
dramatically.
off.
It doesn't
Yeah.
work like that. That's why I don't like
Presenting.
bars.
Stop presenting.
I just run the 60s with my Herald, Titan, Sandstorm, Blackout, Pandora. It's quick. Takes about a minute per
You
base.
go all in, huh?
Well,
I do
it's-
just doing
it's
the
the-
old way, Jericho, and then
Well,
Titan.
the reason why I like it this way is I can just throw like any random tunes. I'll just throw like a detonator. I'll put it out somewhere next to an Iron Strike 60 when I need it. I know because I can do it with my air. I don't have to have one specific tune, and then one specific unit always moving around. I can just have anything. Be like, oh, there's an Iron Strike 60. There, send a tune there, and hit.
how much?
know?
How much repair do you take on that?
It depends all on how quick and how how accurate you do it. But I don't know,
but
between
hearing hearing you talking, I think you are putting everything in, and then on Fist or Ruby, and then go out.
well, it's mostly on Fit. It's mostly on Ruby. I can do one. No, fuck it. I'll log in and do one if you want. It's not
I'm
that
just
hard.
curious.
It's pretty simple, but most of the stuff's on Ruby.
I'm just curious how much damage you take on that.
It's an acceptable amount considering I'm not going to be using my air for anything, so I can do like a whole bunch of them, and then after I've done a bunch of them, I'll probably be out for. I'll probably have a few hours damage, but like if I fuck up in one, I'll probably take like half an hour if I fuck up. But I think I usually get away with taking about maybe 15 to 20 minutes, I think.
Seems like if you would deploy in the northeast corner, the hunters are the farthest away from you at that point.
I mean, I can do other things to minimize my damage even further,
Well,
but I can't be fucked because it's just really, really simple tactic.
50 minutes if you don't take out the hunters first. It's not much. But me, I prefer to take the Jericho out and then take out the 2 hunters, and then I will finish it off with air.
Yeah, I can't be far. It takes too long. I'll
No.
show you why. I'll show you why. And that means you always have to have Jericho, repaired. You always have to, then you have to put Jericho back into a tune and then send Jericho out to an Iron Strike 60. My method, I keep a tune out near an Iron Strike 60 area. That way, whenever I need res, I'm ready within 2 seconds. I just go to the world map and I'm ready at an Iron Strike 60.
I always have my Jericho, just Jericho and 1 tune, and that's my resource holder platoon. I take on with the Iron Strike 60 with it, but I can take quite a bunch with the Jericho and still keep within the free repair range.
Like it.
As a design question, what do you guys think about the siege squadron? Not to go back on this, but if the siege squadron retreats, should it finish dropping its units and then retreat, or should it just leave instantly?
It should. I would like to see it complete its bombing run.
Wait.
I'm screen sharing it.
Currently, it doesn't. As soon as you retreat, it stops running. But
as it is now, it stops dropping. But it should finish dropping, and then cancel when you click on it. That's how I think about it.
Yeah, so at the moment, my air's already got an hour and 4 minutes of damage to it. So just keep that in mind.
Is YouTube caught up? I'm not on YouTube right now.
I don't know. And see, like, I go down, I already got a tune out ready at an Iron Strike 60. Okay, somebody took the Iron Strike 60. But I've always got a tune out ready. It's just any random crap.
I don't think he clicked on present to everyone.
I did.
He did.
I did.
I thought I was going to say did Peel.
Me? I can't click present to
there
everyone.
it is.
it's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube?
Yep.
You're live.
All right.
Oh, be careful, man. You're live now.
I don't care. I leave Ruby on. Drop the Herald.
Just don't show him your cheat engine.
I target the Nightmare over there, and I just wait for this to loop around.
Oh, you use
Loops around. I wait for that to attack. That's attacking. Deploy. Deploy that. I wait for the shadow. I follow its shadow. Click here.
I just hate the slow motion of the Herald.
Like a slideshow.
Yeah, I know.
That's why
I move Pandora over here. Hit that. And you see the time-wise, we're doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I wait for the Herald shadow to get around there. Then I target that. Done.
Well, you said you just walk into the base and hit Ruby.
I do. I pretty much everything's on Ruby. All I do is control Pandora to take out the hunters and everything else.
Okay.
Now I don't do anything.
Okay, and now I want to see the
The Ruby warrior in me does not think. I just want to drop everything and hit R. And walk
I
away.
want to see the damage.
And see, look, that's like
want to see the
one
repair
unit.
time.
Well, I
That's
can
my
tell
lazy
you,
way.
I can tell you how I do mine. And you can literally just drop in everything and hit R and then leave. But you're going to take damage.
Pretty much.
Well,
I like
Probably how I do mine.
Probably you use your Juggernaut with the Adra.
No.
The quick,
I use only air.
The quicker you
use air.
take out those hunters, the less damage you'll end up taking. How much should I take?
But
I
honestly,
only use air. I'll tell you, I did it
Typing
today.
got hit a bit too much in that one.
So I take
that was a fucked up one.
I take a dog. I take an attack dog.
Almost 2
standard
hours.
attack dog.
No, it was like 1 hour. It was about 50 minutes on that one. It was a bad one.
It was an hour and 4 before. So, but I take an standard
fine.
attack dog up to a Iron Strike 60. I have its electric running. I deploy.
Oh no!
I deploy.
It's electric.
It's
Don't
electric.
waste. Don't waste that.
No, it's not a waste.
No,
It's not a waste. Listen.
no.
Venom, shut up.
Do you know how many?
Yes, it
do you know
is.
how- do you know how
Don't waste
many?
10k metals on its electric on an iron strike 60. Period.
But no, because I don't just no. Hear me out. I don't just
God
do the
damn it,
Iron
Venom.
Strike 60s. I don't
God
just
damn
do
it,
the Iron
Venom.
Strike 60s.
Stop
I
giving
do the
people
Iron
news
Strike
opinions.
60s, and then I do 1080 bases and get thorium. I do all of it all at once. I do thorium run, and
Yeah,
then
and
also
what if you don't need? How much
So-
thorium are you always collecting? You don't need that
So
much
the
fucking
point
thorium.
is,
I'm all,
don't
dude. You know
use-
how behind I
don't
am on
waste your
upgrading
its
shit.
electric on an iron strike 60.
Is that like dropping missiles on the 80 base? You know, spending more thorium than it
Oh,
costs.
God.
Oh yeah, you just drop 12 peacekeepers on a 135 for thorium.
1 million.
Unlimited thorium.
I feel like we
1 million
should
years
preface,
guns
you
with
know,
no trauma.
You know, honestly, to us, you know, when you have the Omega Juggernaut, Siege Squadron Herald, Blackout, you have all these techs. These Iron Strike 60s should be no problem. You know, we should be able to roll through them like water because it's like, you know, we have everything, you know, maxed, and the Iron Strike 60s are not the. It's
Well,
sort of the grind you have to do to get the billions of resources you need.
I can tell you that when compared, you know, I used to do this with the old setup before they changed the hunters and that, and you would get pretty much about 10 minutes of damage doing it this way with the old system, with the way that the hunters used to be. This time, usually I don't take that much damage, but I'll do another one.
We never do. And then we show it live.
I don't want to. Usually it's lower than that. I mean, most of the damage depends. It depends on the nightmares attacking my titans. If they happen to hit the nightmare the titan pretty good, then you get a bit of damage. But if they don't, if they're sometimes I can go through this base and none of them, my Titan Heralds, my Titan Sandstorm and Blackout won't even get touched at all.
Let me say something here. Am I muted?
No, you're good.
No.
I just want to go back and touch on that invasion thing. People exploited the fucking jump thing, right?
Oh yeah.
And Kickside fucking rewarded their ass.
Oh yeah.
Well, one person. Well, far
more than one person. I can pretty much guess.
Okay.
More than one person did.
Well, we can confirm that the one person that was proactive got rewarded. We don't know what they're going to do.
I'm not saying anything against that person. I'm saying this is what I'm against. Kickside rewarding that person. And I just saw a comment. Kickside does not do it's out their discretion to not do anything. Well, they did do something, you stupid motherfucker. They rewarded the motherfucker for exploiting the fucking glitch. So shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah,
Jesus
but
fucking Christ.
No, but next invasion we all gotta send in tickets. Then we all
Yeah,
got
that's my only little rant there.
Can someone send in a ticket for me, please? Yeah, that's fine.
Well, I don't know. Here's the thing. Here's the catch-22 in this. Next invasion, we might be under the new Kicksai CS system. You might not get a Kicksai person that has the power to reward you with said tokens. So now you're just going to get an answer from an expert that says, "Oh, jump to another sector. Let's try again."
But in this panel, we got all experts, man.
I am not an expert. I'm a jack of all trades and master of none.
I thought you were one of the Kicksai expert that was going to answer tickets.
Fuck no. No.
No?
Hell no. No, because I can't. I couldn't even if I wanted to, because I'm so just it leaves a taste of bile in my mouth to deal with Kicksai. I don't like the things they do. Not all the things are bad, mind you, but just certain things just irk me. So to be put in a position where I'm trying to help somebody, knowing full well that they shouldn't have this issue in the first place, I couldn't do it. I couldn't. because my responses would be, you know, you shouldn't have to have dealt with this in the first place. I apologize for Kickside being a bunch of noobs, and it's not, you know, your fault that their code is bullshit. Then this is what you're supposed to do, and I suggest after you get it rectified, quit the game, get something good, learn to play something fun, you know, that kind of. And then I would get, you know, summarily dismissed.
I keep you on presenting fair appeal, so whatever you gotta do, at least something to look at on YouTube.
What should I do? There's nothing.
Oh yeah, do an Intel base.
An Intel base.
Yeah. You sure got a lot of zombies.
You're you know, for a point hunter. I mean, look, you're right in a way. I mean, I appreciate it. It's something that we've all asked for. We want people who know the game, who have invested in the game, and who understand the way the game is and how it's played, to be the ones representing repairs and being a go-between to get things fixed. And the problem that I see is, like I said in the other show, is it's more, to me, an effective Kicksai fishing to get answers and solutions without having to actually pay somebody to delve deep into the code and fix.
Let's be honest. Kickstarter's just lazy and they've got no idea what the fuck they're doing. That's why they need to outsource it to people who actually know what the fuck they're doing. And on top of that, they don't even have to fucking pay them.
I think it's kind of a testing. They do something, they know it's wrong, but as long as nobody says something, they keep on doing it until somebody says something.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, look. I mean, they went from being, you know, support is free for everyone to support is now premium support, and it's only for people that have paid for the premium support
that never existed.
Exactly to now, you know what? There's no more support. It's pretty much just let's just hire a bunch of random players and let them tell people what to fucking fix. Okay,
maybe next time if I send
them random players ain't gonna send me gold, so fuck that shit.
Maybe next time.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I think they send it to me as an expert, and then I have to answer myself. Okay, clear out your
I applaud anybody who's a Kicksai player expert who sends a ticket and gets it booted back by that third-party company to their own email and respond, clear cash, clean cook. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, that would be funny, right?
But bullshit, man.
Hunter, you hit the nail on the head. We've paid $50. We've paid $50 up front. We've been extorted. We've been extorted out of $50 because this was a game. This was a game that was free to play, and part of a commitment to your player base is to have support of some sort. If you're selling an item, you should have some sort of customer support for said item. So we should have been given that for nothing, but we've paid the $50 because they decided to throw that friggin' money grab out there. Those
if
that are already
if that happened to me, I would be an ass person because I would laugh it off.
Yeah. But then they've retracted that premium service, the instantaneous online 24-hour direct messenger contact with a Kicksai customer service representative that you were supposed to get if you were part of this premium shit. That did not happen, but for a month.
Shit never worked for me.
Never worked for me either. But there were a handful that actually did get it through. Well, it did work for me. It came up for about a month, and then it just disappeared. It flaked out.
I never got premium support.
I got it, but I didn't use it. And by the time I wanted to use it, it was fucking disappeared. I was just the standard ticket.
I got shit report. I got shit support, and then no support. And then they were like,
I do gotta tell you, my the support that I had previously from Kickstarter, it was not bad. It was okay, but all that expert things, I'm not sure of it. If it will work.
This is the issue. This is the biggest crux of the situation. Is, you know, there are people that had previously. There are people that had previously invested money in the beginning of the game and were granted that quality of the $50 fee paid for. So it's fine. They'd already invested. There were people that actually were forced to invest $50 just so that they would have the quote unquote support. Now those people were screwed. And on top of that, Kixeye is now offering a solution that already existed, as Hunter was alluding to. And what I always said, paying $50 to ask a friend, and that, and thank you, Anton brought that up earlier, which is we already have the Unshackled page, Cities page, the BV page, Sector 1, all the different sector pages. You have this. You have the YouTube channels with videos. You have the fucking forum section that is customer service, which is you can talk to other players about issues, and other players respond to that forum post, hopefully, and give you the solution. It's circular. It's cyclical bullshit talking. They're not giving you anything new. They're just putting a different color bow on it. And like I said in the past, thing is, I put this on the Unshackled forum on the page when we were talking about it, was Kixeye is not managing their finances properly. They're paying this corporation to run this software program to connect players' tickets to player experts' emails or cell phones through, whatever message or whatever. So they have to pay this corporation to send these text alerts or this email alert out saying, okay, we have this forum post, and then wait for a response from the player expert. They could have reinvested that money directly back into that forum post that Kixeye already has. That forum section, I should say, not forum post, but that forum section that Kixeye already has. They should have reinvested in that and marketed that and had a customer service, maybe 3 or 4, or I don't know. Say they only have 6 customer service representatives working for Kixeye. Forget the outsourced debate and all that other stuff. Say they only have 6 people. Yeah. If they invested to have 2 customer service agents full-time in those forums, monitoring those, answering questions, linking and putting the topics together and linking players' solutions to player problems, that investment would have been a fraction of what they're going to invest in this goddamn third-party, whatever, I forget what they call it, the company that runs this system.
Waste of time. Anyway, you know what made me really fucking laugh? In the last couple of weeks, when it became, what was it? It was the 7th week of Shoutouts, right? And then Kixeye's realizing, wait a minute, we're in the 7th week of Shoutouts. How come people are able to build the fucking Siege Squadron? And I'm like, because you're a fucking bunch of fucking retards. And their whole solution was because of the fucking boss bases. Their solution to the bug on the boss bases was to give a free part to everyone that did not even hit a boss base. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And I went off my shit, as everyone probably remembers. I'm like, this is the fucking dumbest fucking idea. Give people the biggest compensation for people that were absolutely in no way, shape, or form affected by a glitch in the game. Mm-hmm. And then go back only 2 weeks, 2 weeks later to I think it was 3 weeks later or something, 3 weeks. Realize you fucked up. You done fucked up and you took it away from them. I'm sorry, but I found that absolutely fucking hilarious.
Anyway. Iron hit his and didn't get anything. That sucks.
Well, I was hitting boss bases, and I'm like, it's stupid. And then they didn't compensate people for something where they really fucked up, like having the extended Shadow Ops time, but no Shadow Ops bases to hit.
Yeah,
and then people like me didn't get their fucking thing because they're fucking fucked up. They done fucked up. Sorry, I'm having fun. I'm not playing the game. I am playing the game, but I don't play the game too much.
But I still love the game, man.
No, fuck the game, man. It's boring. I'm playing.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
having more fun
Oh, yeah.
playing fucking Pokemon.
No.
No, wait. Now you're saying now you mention it boring. I mean Saturday. They could do something better for Saturdays because
Saturday. You know what I was doing yesterday? Catching fucking shiny
Pokemon?
Pikachu because there was a 3-hour event in Pokemon.
Oh man, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
I caught myself 64 Pikachus and 2 of them were shiny.
What
Suck
do you-
that, Godscope.
You're fired.
Oh,
Well, one option I have for that is I think it would be nice if they had the Seed Squadron base out for like 2 or 3 days. Or no, it's the caretaker base out for a couple days, but you can still only hit 5.
so what?
So it
Hey,
gives you some
fair,
time.
fair.
the base.
So what do you need so much Pikachu's, man? You muted.
Hey, before you
Fuck
guys
you,
wrap
Daniel.
this up, let's take care of that question earlier about the diamond deck on the phalanx. Let me
What's
find
wrong
a
with it?
page real quick. Some people were saying they didn't notice a big difference between diamond tech. They said it made it worse, apparently. So
It's 10
let's-
fucking percent. What are you gonna
No,
fucking
that-
notice?
Yeah, it was just the question of whether
Take
or
1
not
minute of
it
damage
was
and
effective.
you're gonna notice taking 6 seconds less damage.
Is it 6?
Hey,
How do you
that's
know it's
6
6 seconds? How do you know it's
It's-
6 seconds? Have you timed this?
10%.
Have you
That
timed
is
this?
10% of 6 seconds. Of
I don't know.
60
Have
seconds.
you timed this?
I haven't timed it, but I'm just saying.
I don't know.
it's-
I don't know if Fierce saw that video.
Sorry.
I think Fierce.
I
no, I'm gonna have to
did.
see it. Oh, yeah.
I did see Fiddy's video of timing 1 minute in game to 1:49 in real life.
Oh man.
But my point is, I'm talking logistics and the real maths behind shit.
Let's-
Six
that's why I'm
seconds
saying
is negligible at best.
Let's
I know,
right.
present here.
I
fuckers.
present champ.
Okay. I'm gonna run It's Electric too because I can.
Oh no, don't place it, man.
My hero champ.
God damn it!
So I'm
Terminator.
doing at this my own suggestion, man.
Hey,
Do
why
this
don't
test on a 65. So I got diamond tech on this deck on tunes.
I cancel your It's Electric and then use the Raining Blood up.
Fuck you.
Even better, cancel the It's Electric, use the
Scrap
Raining
it.
Blood, scrap the Raining Blood out that you're running, buy another It's Electric, then buy hookers, then scrap the It's
Yeah,
Electric,
fuck off,
and then do
man.
the base.
That's
And
too
then I'll use my drop ships.
No, and then scrap your drop ships.
Like Shadow.
No, that's a Shadow Killer only job. Only Shadow Killer can scrap his drop ship.
Well, he didn't scrap it. He used it
Yeah, well, he
during the
accidentally
fucking
activated
event.
it. Yeah, it was hilarious.
Look at the
Accidentally
BFGX,
activated.
man. It's covered in dust.
Wait until that comes out. The new boss,
Okay.
BFGX hero unit.
There's a new BFGX hero unit coming out.
No, I'm just waxing philosophic.
I asked because I haven't been paying attention to the
Waxing
game.
nostalgic.
So
Waxing nostalgic.
for all I know, they actually could have been.
Okay, so that was with diamond tech.
2 weeks, we'll have a new unique.
25 seconds to my base. Let me get that to the base.
Sure,
Let it
sure.
repair.
It will
See
be
you
interesting.
time.
It will be interesting to see what will follow up Siege.
Meantime, let's
Since
find
the
another
Siege is air,
65.
theoretically, we've had the Blackout air, the Siege Squadron air.
Well,
We have to
we
get
have
around
had
The next thing's a Corpus ground unit.
Yeah, Corpus needs a ground unit.
I'm not
Yeah,
looking at the way
Uh-huh.
at air and ground units. I always look at the way we had previous the Blackout. It was an awesome unit. Then we had the Siege Squadron, less. So I think the next unit will be awesome.
Okay.
It'll be a Corpus ground unit.
I should look at my year schedule because I mapped this entire game out for a year.
Nice.
You're a nerd.
And let me guess, you're already a year behind.
Well, you know, I should
Oh
actually.
my god, do you got a
like,
honey badger
couple mistakes
in
I
one of
made.
your tunes?
Yes, I do.
How does it do? Good.
It's really fast.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it Omega?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's got diamond tech on it and diamond skin.
Okay, so let's
Shiny,
see.
shiny.
It's not supposed to be repairing. It's supposed to be. Take that one out. Take that one out.
Oh, he's trying to save some repair time.
Yeah, why not? Okay.
Oh yeah, I did the same with Invasion,
Eesh.
just to save some coins.
Yeah, dump
Oh,
two
why
of
not?
them. There you go.
Okay, so what I want to do is put a couple in. That one.
I mean, this is a perfect way to kind of free repair.
And this is the cornerstone of what micro healing has become,
Not that.
or micromanaging healing, I should say.
Yeah, sort of.
I mean, you got a
No.
lazy way, instant coin, or you got this way, save some coin.
Now to sacrifice for the community, we go here. Get rid of that. And it is this tune. Use resources.
Yeah, that's one thing. They are expensive.
10 million a
yeah.
pop. 10 million a pop, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, workshop lag. Thank you very much. You can quit lagging now. Jesus.
Oh yeah, but it's always lagging lately.
Yeah.
Everything is lagging in Walking
That
lately.
one.
Lately.
That's too bad. Yeah, lately for me, because normally I don't have that much issue with lag.
A workshop's always been like this.
Yeah, the workshop always been fucked.
Come on. Okay, return to workshop tomorrow. Jesus.
And
Oh,
for
you-
part 2 of this Phalanx introduction to the Diamond Tech, tune in next week.
Yeah, no shit, huh?
Yeah, we might have to do a part 2.
That's the last one. I already have my target bookmarked. This is the last one. That one and that one. Okay, that's all. So none of these have Diamond Tech.
What level are your Phalanx?
16.
16.
Yep.
Fuck, man.
Good enough for government work.
Horseshoes and hand grenades. That's almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
I mean, how much health are you gonna get? I mean, like, you'd love to have them 20, but how much extra? I'm just curious.
Let me check.
I know a few people that have them 20. I know Lonnie has them at 20.
I have them at 20. I got all the corpus shit at 20 except for Apollos because Apollos suck. And whoever says they're awesome sucks.
Apollo's is the greatest unit ever put in this game.
Venom
You can't
sucks.
play without them.
Apollos are my favorites.
Yes. Just the name Apollo strikes fear in every player.
Now, this is a different base, keep in mind, but, whatever.
Oh, I love this base. I love this one. Jericho, Titan.
Well, if it's an easier base, then I should get less repair time.
Yeah, it's 50k health per level. champ.
50K. Okay.
Yeah. So I got an extra 200K health on you. Mine are at 1.75. Yours are at 1.55.
What are you doing? Like you're flicking your nose at me and saying, "Ha ha."
Oh man,
No, I'm just saying.
you shouldn't do this one with phalanxes. This
Why
is a
not? You can do them all with phalanxes. Doesn't
What
matter.
This is a typical Jericho and then Titan with
Well, I
the,
know it's not for that purpose, though. This is for the purpose of showing people that
65s. I can't be bothered with 65s. I just do 80s.
I do too.
You didn't scrap your It's Electric yet?
No. You want me to do for that? Send me some gold and I'll do that for the life of the show.
It's in the mail, champ. It's in the mail.
Thank you.
It's transferring. It's on its way.
Transferring to my account. Did you guys happen to catch the repair time on my last one?
47 minutes.
47 minutes? Okay.
Yep.
Glad Slim's on top of this.
Thank you, Slim.
I knew none of y'all were paying attention.
Even I wasn't even paying attention.
James like, 47 minutes gold.
Thank you, Slim. Because I think you were right. Nobody paid attention.
I was not paying attention.
To be fair, I'm trying to find this document, which isn't working.
I would have had to rewatch the show and then compared the difference. But thanks to good players like Slim.
Thank you.
And just because I'm catching up on YouTube chat now, Hunter, give me $50 and I'll fucking support you with fucking whatever the fuck you need.
Yeah.
I'll fucking you have a problem, just come to me. $50. Done. I'll give you lifetime support.
Here I was loath to mention that to you, Fear, but I'm glad you took it so well.
Lifetime emotional support.
Actually took less repair time that time.
I'll take your $50 and put it into Pokemon Go.
That was a different base, though.
To be honest, yeah, it's what you're saying. It was a different base.
It was a different
layout.
I honestly think that one was easier because it had all the bighorns that were so easily shocked.
Nah, hey, it was easy because he had It's Electric on. You should scrap
it. It's Electric on for the other one, too.
Yeah, but the other one didn't have bighorns in it that were so easily shocked. The other one was full of sidewinders.
I'm tired of you guys' excuses.
So heal all your units, and then scrap It's Electric, and then do that base again.
It's not smash my shit there.
That's the only way. That's the only way.
Yeah, yucky.
I would cancel It's Electric.
Hunter fucked up.
What else is new? I don't know. There's micro repair. Yeah, so I think I did take more damage on the first one than I did the last one. That's that icky one.
Because you had It's Electric running, you should cancel that.
Is that the reason why, though? Really?
Quick draw McGraw. That's a fucking noob if I've ever seen one.
Dude, I keep on forgetting you're on the show, dude. I gotta fucking.
You should type and tell him Kings is your daddy.
Dude, fuck off, dude. I'm not typing shit here.
He fucking hates us.
You should try to find a base similar or the same that you did the first time.
I've too much.
I don't even think he knows what the original base was.
I do. It was
the circle one.
Because the second one you did, that one is easier.
It is easy.
To be brutally honest, you're not going to be able to test it effectively doing it like this, purely because from what I've seen testing out my own phalanx, they're very, very, very susceptible to change in damage. This absolute slightest little change, like literally say one phalanx going in a different direction, can change your repair time drastically.
Like if certain number of phalanx target various things.
I was gonna. As long as you keep them moving,
Not just that, depending, like when I use mine, I spread them out with the X feature. If you group them together, certain units and things will do more damage to them than if you had them spread out.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I spread them out before I start my attack. And again, like you said, like Slim said, if you're sending it in because they target 3 simultaneous targets at once, if for whatever reason they hem up on one target and they leave something last longer, they leave a turret or a tower lives a little bit longer, you're more apt to get an extra couple of shots in on you. So yeah, they are a spray and pray type unit. They're not really, you just keep them moving, but you're just kind of just throwing bullets everywhere.
Hey Champ, did you use in this evasion at the last few waves, did you also use the Jericho with the phalanxes?
No, I didn't. I strictly used actually the last one. I used a combination of a few phalanxes and technicals. I did not use Jericho though.
I did, and what you got to keep in mind, if you do that at the last waves, do remind that your Jericho, if you got them shopped with the max speed, your Jericho running faster than the phalanxes. So what I did, I dropped the extra speed. I shopped them with something else, so it will stay in the herd of the phalanxes.
Oh, it fucking timed me out. Fucking Venom.
What, you got timed out?
Who was it? Fucking Venom. I was trying to offer some actual support to fucking Hunter right now. And...
yes.
Why do I get muted and fucking Hunter does it? Hunter's the one that started it.
Well, you know what? Fair. All because fair is fair.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, folks. I think it's time.
Fucking dick Hunter.
Time to.
You can join me in the naughty corner.
All right, I think it's time to wrap it up. If anyone else hasn't anything that you want to say or share.
Yeah, did you guys talk about the caretaker bases?
Yeah, we actually did.
What the fuck was up with them?
And our conclusion was it was fun. It was nice that they changed it, but they should have done it earlier on.
I don't like personally. I don't think they needed to, because they were pretty easy.
We did have one question in YouTube as to which was the better armor for the caretakers.
Look, it will be.
Well, you got the burst and the area, but I think the burst is, if you want to use the burst, then you want to put your caretaker on front, taking the direct hits. If you want to use the area, you put it behind, so the caretaker takes the area damage. Am I wrong?
Well, the area is like a splash protection.
Because when I was testing them or playing with them in the token bases, I found out you had two different uses of them. You put them in front, because when the disruptor was shooting, you want to put your caretaker on front, so that one would take the shock, and your vindicator could keep on shooting.
Now I put my seeker in. I put the seeker in front.
Well,
now I'm fucking with Dutch. Dutch was like seeker.
Yeah, no, but you are. Yeah, no, but you are running the other way around. But I was running actually. But at the beginning, I was going first towards the chaplain corner.
Okay.
And then you got the disturbers, or how do you
disruptors?
Yes. So, but if you are was wheeling your vindicator in, and then the disruptor was wheeling towards you. Yes. And if you did nothing, then disruptors. the shocky thing was shooting at your vindicator.
The shocky
Yes.
howlers were fucking.
No.
Yes.
No.
So-
Dutch coined Shocky thing.
Yeah,
Shocky
so-
Howler is a Phil original.
So the shocky thing was shooting at your vindicator, and your vindicator couldn't shoot. So
I'll say
what was the
bring back the shocky
tactic on that moment? You put your caretaker in front of your vindicator, so your caretaker was shocked, and then your vindicator was free to shoot.
Point. Someone just posted in the YouTube chat. Wouldn't have to worry about shock if you have Sentinel CC. Ooh.
No, but not in the 150 token basis.
Yeah, you technically, if you got a Sentinel CC, you shouldn't get shocked anyway.
You'd be immune to all status effects.
What is the
I
caretaker
did
for
see-
unit? What is it?
It's a Sentinel.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I do say this. I do say this. I saw a video posted. I'm not going to mention the person's name because, quite frankly, I don't remember.
Actually, it was
But,
a smart thing to think because I didn't thought about it.
Yeah.
Go on.
But I did. I saw a video of a guy, and he never even deployed his caretaker.
Yeah, I
base.
didn't watch that video, but I saw it posted.
What do you
So-
use? 100 missiles?
No, he
You
just
can't use
used the
missiles, I
units
think.
available. It was just a systematic way of taking it out in a very
And I would agree.
specific direction.
Because
Contrary to
when I hit
You can't use missiles in that base.
when I hit the first base after they nerfed the fuck right out of it, I'm looking at the damage I was taking, and I'm like, I could probably do this without them. And I was scrolling through Facebook, and then I saw somebody post a video without caretakers, and I'm like, I didn't watch the video, but I'm like,
That video was post nerf, right? That would have been impossible pre nerf.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
pre-nerf
think
it was
pre-nerf was
impossible
impossible,
because of the railgun. You needed the caretaker. The whole point of the caretaker in the pre-nerf base was just to soak that one shot from the railgun. That's all you really needed.
One
it for.
shot? That's seems broken. Mine shot me like
Wait
five.
a minute,
four
wait a
times.
minute, wait a minute. One shot of the railgun, the Vindicator outranges that railgun.
Not mine. Mine never fucking outranged it. Some stupid
Oh.
fucking reason. I know, and this is what pissed me off because I'm like, I'm watching other people's video. Like I watched City's video, and his Vindicator's firing, and it wasn't getting hit by the railgun. I do it, and every single
I
time
chalked
I
it
get,
up as the
I get
railgun
hit
was
by the
broken.
railgun. And I'm like, how come when I do this base, I get hit by the railgun, and other people don't get hit by the railgun?
Because Kickside loves you, Fear.
Hey,
I
Dutch,
swear it was. You know what? It was fucking Salaka on the other side of my fucking account again.
Dutch, do it.
That's
Dutch,
the
He came
benefits
back.
that expert players get.
Dutch,
He came back just to fuck with me.
Dutch, do me a favor, take me off percent, man. Thank you.
Are you still on presenting?
Take him off.
Yes, you are.
Take him off.
Not on YouTube.
Railgun wouldn't shoot at the chaplains. Well, it was shooting at my fucking the Vindicator.
You're off, Jump.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it was doing it. But you know, point is that you know it would fire once, it would kill my bit of a caretaker because it was already damaged, and then it wouldn't fire again until my Vindicator killed it. So, and then I was just using my my Seeker to go in front of the Vindicator after that point, and then go to the right hand side to do the chaplain shit. So, yeah, it worked. You know, it was one caretaker per base. I was pretty happy with that.
All right, man. So I think it's time for us to to wrap it up. So we're going by all the shoutouts. So starting off with Anton, if he's still with us.
Inton Airlines is departed.
Antonio.
This is your captain speaking. We're taxiing on runway 444. Unfortunately, our wheels fell off, and this plane's going to be delayed for about 3 days.
I think
Ladies
he's
and
not
gentlemen,
flying.
our pilot has fell asleep.
Remember, your seat cushions can be used as a flotation device.
Yeah, I think he's
don't
not
think you guys
flying
could get
anymore.
past TSA.
We're all going down.
All right, then next in line is Mr. Chicken Eating Bean, aka Fade Appeal.
Shout out to Hunter. He offered to give me $50 for my support. Not for me to get support in game, but for me to offer him my own personal support. He also offered me something else, but we can't say that live. He's a weird fella, that Hunter. Shout out to everyone in YouTube. That was very positive today. You know what? I'm going to say this. Shout out to the dude at Kixeye that realized they fucked up and took back the fucking Siege Squadron parts. Shout out to whoever the fuck that was. Fucking good on you, mate. And definitely no shout out to the guy that fucking gave them that part in the first place. And I think I'm done.
All right, thanks. Next in line, Champ.
Do you want me to shout out to everyone or tell everyone to fuck off?
It's all up to you. It's all up to you, man.
Shout out to you, Dutch. Thanks for having our show, Unshackled, and your panel, and the YouTube. Bunch of fucking noob, fucking assholes. I wish you would do something about me.
About you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Next in line, Makaya.
Apparently, it's popular on YouTube, so I think we should do the Fear the Peel masterclass. So that would be epic.
$10. It's
Join
premium
now for free.
It's premium.
$50.
It's premium. My premium masterclass.
Those are expensive, I'm assuming. But thanks to Slim and for sharing his thoughts, and I called him out a couple times, and I'm glad it's I appreciate when people can and thanks to Venom and Dutch, that's his name. Yes, I remember now, for putting this on and keeping us excited, busy, and cool on Saturday. And I don't know how to best say this, but shout out to the Situation Room. I think they're still doing their open house tomorrow, so it was fun to watch Champ do the invasion there. So it was cool. If you missed that, you should go check it out. Watch Champ. I think the best time was after Champ. His base is half dead. He's finishing evasion, and all of a sudden someone decides to hit him. So his base is dead pretty much.
It wasn't just a someone either. It was a someone new, someone special fucking.
And he failed.
Well,
I
I was gonna kind of wait for them to go watch it and see how epic it was. And
they already watched it and they fucking cried their ass off, and they're probably still wiping their ass and in the face from that. And because that kind of person has an ass in the face, and they're still crying shit out of their fucking eyeball. So that's okay.
I'm glad that I chose a popular topic, but anyways, shout out to Aaron and Susie, and I think James and a couple other people on YouTube. So appreciate everybody, and hopefully we'll be checking out the Situation Room tomorrow.
All right. Slim.
Yeah. Shout out to Rave. Shout out to Anton, who's now fallen asleep. Shout out to 173. Let's get our shit together, guys. And shout out to me. Thank you, everybody.
Nice.
All right, Venom.
Yeah, I got a shout out to Dutch for putting this show on. It's always great to have another informative show. To Makaya and Slim and Champ and Anton for giving us great conversation. Fuck you, Pill. And shout out to Peel too. It's always great to have good discussions, good debates, spitball ideas. You guys really opened my eyes for a lot of ideas. Yeah, I'm getting there. Shout out to David. I hope you rest up. You fell asleep on us, but you need the rest. You got to get your head in the game. And shout out to the person at CS that rewarded me for when they fucked me out of my air earlier today. So I appreciate the expedient reply. Other than that, fuck Kixeye. That's it.
All right, thank you. My shout out goes to to the panel. Thanks for all being here and anticipate on the show. Thank you very much. And of course for YouTube for all being here. The next show is on it should be on Wednesday. And after that we got the event show. I don't know if there is already anybody to volunteer to take on the show. If it's not, then I will do the show. But if I have to do it, it will be around 3 p.m. Eastern, unless somebody else is taking over and started right at the gate. So stay tuned all, and I wish you all a good day.
Monkeys!